even if you've never stepped foot in Whitby, you might still recognise Frank Meadow Sutcliffe's photography. Images that feel alive, raw, real, thought-provoking. In this video, we're exploring the story behind the lens. Born in 1853 in Headingley, Leeds, his full name was Francis Meadow Sutcliffe, but most people just called him Frank. He was more than a photographer, he was a pioneer of photographic art. Frank was raised in a creative home. His father, Thomas Sutcliffe, was a talented landscape painter. His mother, Sarah Laurentia Button, supported their artistic world. As the eldest of 8 siblings, Frank often slept in his father's studio, surrounded by brushes, canvases, and imagination. But it was behind the camera that Frank found his voice. Through his lens, we get an intimate, unfiltered look into the everyday life in Whitby during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Busy harbour scenes, fisherfolk at work, barefoot children playing in the streets, and the towering presence of Whitby Abbey, it's all there. His photos also capture the nearby communities of Runswick Bay, Sandsend, Runswick Bay and Staithes. Each frame tells a story, not posed or polished, but full of life. It all started with a gift, a large camera and a box of huge negatives handed down from father to son. From that moment on, he was hooked. Photography wasn't just a hobby, it was a passion. In 1870, the family packed up and moved to the coastal town of Whitby, but just a year later, tragedy struck. His father passed away from pneumonia. At just 18, he found himself the head of the family. With the weight of the responsibility on his shoulders, he made a choice to turn his love of photography into a livelihood. Sutcliffe moved to Broomfield Terrace in Whitby after his father's death in 1871. He established a portrait business out of his Skinner Street studio, which was an old jet workshop. At this time, portrait photography was the primary way for photographers to make a living. During the summer months, he found himself busy capturing portraits of tourists visiting Whitby. His true passion was landscape photography, but his landscape photos didn't directly make him money. He did, however, exhibit them all over the world, winning medals and earning fame. In turn, this made him more money from his portrait business, as tourists were desperate to have their photos taken by him. In the end, he found the perfect synergy: fame through his art and financial success through his portraits. He used a mahogany whole-plate camera that had to be used on a tripod because of its slow exposure. He initially used wet plates, but dry plates soon came along, allowing for use without the need for a portable darkroom. He could take and carry approximately 12 exposures, which is unimaginable now, as we are so unlimited with the amount of photos we can produce. In the summer, Sutcliffe was busy making a living. In the winter, he enjoyed photographing Whitby. He really liked how the mist covered the town and tricked the eye into seeing the foreground as sharper than it actually is. He didn't like people to look directly at the camera. He liked it to look like he had taken a candid shot. However, with the slow exposure, that just wasn't possible, as people had to stay still for an extended amount of time. He used a wide aperture to blur the background and keep the figures in the focus, setting them apart from the scene. To achieve the composition he was aiming for, he had to arrange people in his photographs to look natural, so he must have had a great rapport to be able to direct them and distract them from their busy days. The photos are so remarkable that it is challenging not to romanticise the places and the lives depicted within them. It's essential to acknowledge the reality. These were not affluent individuals. The living conditions for the ordinary people of Whitby were very challenging. Girls gaining muscles is representative of the photography commonly seen during the period. The more you look at the photo, the more you see. For instance, the 2 women cautiously peering out of their doorways in the background. His photographs of children set him apart as a photographer. The photos have a life to them unlike any others. However, Sutcliffe's photography was not free from controversy. His most famous photograph, entitled Water Rats, featured a group of naked children playing in and around a boat. As Sutcliffe's Wikipedia entry notes, the image is not erotic. Sutcliffe was using the conventions of the academic nude to show how photography can approach art. Yet it was still enough to get Sutcliffe excommunicated by his local church. Why? They claimed that it was likely to corrupt women. His work was widely exhibited and he received numerous awards for his photographs. Sutcliffe was also a member of the Linked Ring, also known as the Brotherhood of the Linked Ring. It was a British photographic society created to propose and defend photography as being just as much an art as it was a science. Members dedicated to the craft looked for new techniques that would cause the less knowledgeable to steer away, persuading photographers and enthusiasts to experiment with chemical processes, printing techniques and new styles. At the age of 70, he became the curator of the Whitby Gallery and Museum. He held this post until he died in 1941 at the age of 87. He had a way with people and a way with artistry. The lasting legacy of Sutcliffe's photography is a testament to the ambition of a man who wanted to document the world as it is seen.